Now to create a virtual network, we'll use the all services here, and you can search using Control F, or you can type virtual network here. And the search provides the virtual networks portal page. Click on this and we are in the virtual network landing page. Of course, I have not created any virtual network as such. Let me go ahead and create one VNet first. Now, while creating the virtual network, we should provide the subscription and the resource group. We had already created the resource group earlier. Subscription is something that we cannot create by ourselves. If you want to, then we'll have to pay some amount. So I'm using the default subscription. And this is the same resource group that I had created earlier. If you want to use other resource group, you can click here and use any other resource group which are there. And now the details of the virtual network. Of course, I'll have to provide the name. I'm naming it as 3IM VNet 1. I might create other more virtual network also. And the region would be Central India. Click on next. Then there are security options. Do you want to have network encryption or not? As a good practice in production, you should enable network encryption. Now in this case, what would happen is that the traffic that is traveling within the virtual network, those would be encrypted using TLS. But the traffic which is traveling outside of the virtual network, let's say to internet, will not be encrypted. The second option is Azure Bastion, which is again an important component. You should always create it, and it is a paid service. It is not free, which can be used to connect to virtual machines using TLS, using secure connection. In most of the cases, or in most of the applications, it can be data application or AI application. All those applications should be inside of private subnet, not inside of public subnet. So if you have to connect to those resources, let's say if you have to connect to those virtual machines, there won't be any way to connect to those virtual machines because those would be inside of private network. Now let's say you want to connect to those machines from your laptop. Because they are not connected to internet, there won't be any way to connect or log into those machines. So that's where Azure Bastion helps. If you enable it using Azure Bastion, you can connect to the resources. Okay, now once I enable it, it would create a Bastion host and it would create a public IP address also automatically. Either I can ask VNet or Azure to create it, or I can create it from here. I'm naming it as 3IM VNet 1 Bastion public IP. All right, that's it. And firewall, whether you need firewall or not, I'll not be needing firewall as of now. Neither do I need DDoS network protection or distributed denial of service attack protection. If you are using application server or data server or database server in your production, then you should always enable DDoS network protection because it helps you to thwart any DDoS attack that can happen on your network. Now in the next screen, we'll have to provide the network address. Now what should be the network address of the virtual network? So as I told you, that virtual network is similar to router. You can think of it as a virtual router in your Azure environment and in the region that we have used, which is Central India. And VNet is a region-wise resource. When we create a VNet, that VNet would be available in all the zones in the region where it has been created. Okay, now after that, I'll have to provide a network address. So this is the network address which has been taken by default. You can change it or you can keep it as is. I'm keeping it as is. And there are two subnets which will be created by default. First would be the Azure Bastion subnet. The reason this subnet is getting created because I have enabled Azure Bastion. And this would be a public subnet because we need to connect to the Azure Bastion. Then we have a default subnet. I can delete this default subnet and then I can add subnet. So let me add two subnets. One would be a public subnet and the other one would be the private subnet. In subnet purpose, you can mention what it should be. You can keep it as default. This would be the name of the subnet and this is the IPv4 address range of VNet. And here you can mention the IPv4 address for the public subnet. So let's provide the public subnet address with 10.0.2.0/24. This is the CIDR range. And it will also tell you the subnet address range. This is what we are getting. If you scroll down, it will ask you whether I want it to be a private subnet or a public subnet. But of course, I want it to be a public subnet, so you do not have to enable the private subnet here. Then in security, you can provide NAT gateway. NAT gateway would be needed for private subnet if you want to connect to internet from private subnet. I'll not use NAT gateway. Then you have security group and route table, or network security group and route table. I have not talked about this. I'll talk about these things and then come back and modify this VNet. Similarly, you have service endpoints. I'm not creating any service endpoint as such. Neither am I creating any private endpoints. We'll discuss this and come back to this section later on. So first is the public subnet, which is 3 IAM VNet 1 public subnet 1. I'll be adding one more subnet, and it would be 3 IAM 1 VNet 1 private subnet 1. And let's start the private subnet address with maybe 20, 30 like that. So that's what I have mentioned here. Because it is a private subnet, I'll have to tick this. I'll have to enable this option whether it is a private subnet or not. If I enable private subnet, there won't be any access to internet. So the resources that we create inside of a private subnet, those resources will not have access to internet. No request can come in from internet and no request can go out also. So the resources inside of a private subnet would be completely isolated. If you want to change it, we'll have to create a NAT gateway, which we'll do later on. I'm not attaching any network security group. I have not talked about network security group yet, or route table, or service and private endpoints. So let's add this. So there are three subnets: Azure Bastion subnet, Azure VNet 1 public subnet, and VNet 1 private subnet. That's it. If we want, we can mention tag. I'm adding two more tags. One is environment, which is 3 IAM, and purpose is training. Now, after I provide all these options, Azure will run some validation, and once it is passed, I can click on create and the VNet would be created. So it is creating a deployment and submitting a deployment here. You can see that the deployment is in progress. Once the deployment is done, then all these resources that we have provisioned will be created automatically. Once it is created, you can go to this all resources and it will tell you what all resources that have been created. So just now I have created this 3IAM VNet 1. This is the virtual network by itself. Then there is a Bastion host, 3IAM VNet 1 Bastion host, 3IAM VNet 1 Bastion public IP, and you can click on the VNet and then look at what is happening. So these are the resource group. Should be three subnets. The location is Central India. The subscription is Azure subscription 1, and a lot of other information. Now the other options here are activity log, access control, tags, etc. Now if you go to settings, it will tell you the address space. What is the address space? This is the address of the network which this VNet supports, and which is 10.0.0/16. And you can click on subnets. It will tell you the subnets that have been created. Not sure, I'm not able to move it, but there are three subnets: Azure Bastion subnet, Azure VNet 1 public subnet, which is this one with a network address of 10.0.20/24. It is not a private subnet because it has not been enabled. And there is a private subnet that we have created, 10.0.20, and I have enabled the private subnet. And then we have Azure Bastion subnet also, which is actually not a private subnet. So if you see here, the private subnet option is not enabled. That's why it is a public subnet. So these are the three subnets that have been created. Then we can look at the Bastion option also, and here it tells you the Bastion host, and I can use or select a VM to connect to. Now this VM should be there inside of a private subnet. If the VM or virtual machine is there in the public subnet, then we do not need any Bastion host. But the reason we have created Bastion host so that we can connect to resources like virtual machines inside of private subnet, which I'll talk in the next section anyway. I did not enable DDoS protection or firewall or DNS or anything of that sort, but I have created only the basic components like the VNet itself and the subnet inside of the VNet. Notice that you cannot see the subnets here. You can see only the VNet, but not the subnets that have been created inside of VNet, which is fine. If you want to look at the subnets, you have to go inside of the virtual network and then click on subnets, which will show you all the subnets that are available here. So these are the three subnets that we have.